Ladies and gentlemen, deeply think and deep down, every one of us carries something more powerful than fear, more certain than doubt, and more dependable than human wisdom. It's the guiding voice of God within us. That gentle whisper, that inner nudge, that quiet assurance. It's not just your own thoughts. It's the Spirit of God leading you, protecting you, and showing you the way forward. Many times we're looking for direction from the outside. We think if the circumstances line up perfectly, if the right people validate us, or if we see a clear sign, then we'll know what to do. But the truth is, God has already placed His guidance within you. That voice will often not be loud or dramatic. It may simply be a sense of peace when everything else looks uncertain. It may be a small warning when you're about to make a wrong turn. It may be that deep conviction telling you to keep going when others say it's impossible. The key is learning to listen. The noise of life can drown out God's whisper. Worry, stress, negativity. If we give too much attention to those voices, we miss the still, small voice that is always steady and faithful. You don't need to run after every opinion. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't have to be afraid of missing your destiny. When your heart is turned toward God, He will lead you step by step. Some of you are facing decisions right now. You're asking, what if I make a mistake? What if I choose wrong? Don't live in fear. Trust that God knows how to redirect you. Even if you miss a turn, He knows how to bring you back on course. His guidance is not fragile, it's strong. He's not limited by your past, by your failures, or by what others think. God's guidance is already within you. His Spirit speaks through peace, conviction, and inner nudges rather than external signs. One of the greatest gifts God has given us is His guiding presence within. We often think guidance comes from the outside, from circumstances, signs, or other people. While God can certainly use those things, His primary way of leading is from within. The moment you put your faith in Him, His Spirit took residence in your heart. That means you don't have to chase after direction. You carry it inside of you. Think about it like this. When you buy a car, it comes with a navigation system already installed. You don't need to go find a map every time you travel. The directions are built right into the vehicle. In the same way, God has placed His navigation system inside of you. His Spirit whispers, "This is the way, walk in it." Sometimes it comes as a deep sense of peace when everything around you looks confusing. Other times it might be an uneasiness when you're about to make a wrong choice. That's not just your conscience. It's God Himself guiding you. The challenge is, we often ignore that inner voice because we expect something louder or more dramatic. But God doesn't always shout. He leads through a still small voice, and here's the good news, His voice is trustworthy. When you feel unsure, when you don't know which path to take, you don't have to panic. The one who created the universe is speaking inside of you. So instead of searching everywhere for answers, pause and look inward. Pray, be still, and listen. The direction you need is not far away, it's already in you. And when you learn to trust that guiding voice, you will walk with confidence, knowing God Himself is ordering your steps. Learn to quiet the noise worry, fear, and negativity can drown out God's whisper, so stillness and faith help you hear clearly. One of the greatest challenges to hearing God's guiding voice is the noise all around us. Life is filled with distractions, fear whispering you're not enough, worry saying, what if it doesn't work out, and negativity echoing, you'll never succeed. If we allow those voices to dominate our hearts, we won't be able to clearly hear the still, small voice of God that brings peace and direction. Imagine trying to tune in to your favorite radio station. If there's too much static, the music gets lost. The station is still broadcasting, but you can't enjoy it because the interference is too strong. In the same way, God is always speaking, but when the static of stress, doubt, and anxiety fills our minds, His voice feels distant. The problem isn't that God is silent. The problem is that we're surrounded by too much noise. That's why stillness is so powerful. Taking time each day to pray, to breathe, to read His Word, to be quiet in His presence. These moments clear out the static. They make your heart sensitive again to the gentle whispers of His Spirit. Peace becomes louder than fear. Faith speaks stronger than doubt. Confidence in God's plan overrides the uncertainty of circumstances. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to figure out every detail. What you need is to make space in your life for God's voice to be heard above all the noise. When you choose stillness over stress, worship over worry, trust over tension, suddenly clarity comes. Decisions become easier, direction becomes clearer, and life becomes lighter. God's guidance is not hidden from you. It's just waiting for you to quiet the noise so His whisper can be heard. You don't need everyone's approval. Trusting God's voice inside you is more important than chasing opinions or validation from others. One of the biggest obstacles to following God's guiding voice within us is the constant pull for people's approval. We live in a world where opinions are everywhere. Friends, family, co-workers, even strangers on social media. Everyone has something to say about what you should or shouldn't do. If you spend your life trying to keep everyone happy, you'll lose sight of the voice that truly matters, God's voice inside you. When God places a dream in your heart, not everyone will understand it. Some may doubt you, others may criticize you, and a few may even try to discourage you. But remember, they didn't hear what you heard. They didn't feel what God placed in your spirit. That vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And the truth is, you don't need the approval of people when you already have the approval of Almighty God. Jesus Himself faced this. Many questioned Him, opposed Him, and tried to discredit Him. But He wasn't moved by opinions. He was anchored to His Father's voice. In the same way, when you walk in obedience to God's leading, you'll have a confidence that doesn't come from applause, but from assurance. Stop waiting for everyone to agree with you before you take a step of faith. Some may not believe in you until after you succeed. Some may never support you at all, and that's okay, because God's voice is greater than any human opinion. When you release the need for constant approval, you'll find freedom. You'll move forward with courage. You'll walk in peace, knowing the one who created you is the one guiding you. And when He is leading, you cannot miss your destiny. God can redirect your steps even if you take a wrong turn. He is faithful to guide you back on course toward your purpose. So many times, people hold back from making decisions because they're afraid of missing God's will. They think, what if I choose wrong? What if I take the wrong path? That fear can paralyze us and keep us from moving forward. But here's the truth. God is not limited by your mistakes. He knows how to redirect your steps. Even if you take a wrong turn, His grace is strong enough to guide you back on course. Think of it like using a GPS. When you miss an exit or take a wrong road, the system doesn't shut down and say, "You're lost forever." No, it simply recalculates. It finds a new route to get you where you're supposed to go. In the same way, the voice of God within you recalculates when you miss it. He knows how to take every detour, every delay, even every bad choice, and still work it together for your good. That means you don't have to live in fear of failing. You don't have to be paralyzed by uncertainty. Take the step that's in front of you. Trust that if it's not the right one, God will close that door and open another. He's a faithful guide, and He never abandons His children. Some of the greatest blessings in life come after what looked like mistakes. What you thought was a setback was actually a setup for something greater. What you thought was a failure became the very thing that led you into your purpose. That's how amazing God's guidance is. He can take what was meant for harm and turn it into good. So move forward boldly. Trust that His voice is not fragile, His plan is not fragile, and your destiny is not fragile. God will always redirect your steps. Following His voice leads to peace and fulfillment when you obey the inner leading. You walk into the life God designed just for you. Every person longs for a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. We chase after success, relationships, and achievements hoping they will satisfy us. But true fulfillment doesn't come from things on the outside. It comes from following the guiding voice of God on the inside. When you walk in step with His leading, you're not just living any life, you're living the life you were created for. The voice of God brings peace that circumstances cannot shake. Even when storms are raging around you, there can be calm within you. That's because His Spirit whispers, "I am with you. I will never leave you. I am guiding you forward." That assurance is worth more than all the recognition, wealth, or approval the world could give. It's the kind of peace that lets you rest even when you don't have all the answers, because you know the one who does. Fulfillment also comes when you're in alignment with your divine purpose. Many people feel restless because they're living someone else's dream, chasing what culture says matters, or ignoring what God has placed in their heart. But when you choose to listen to His voice, whether it's leading you to step into a new opportunity, forgive someone, or simply trust Him in the waiting, you'll find a deep sense of satisfaction no worldly success can match. Following God's voice won't always be the easiest path. Sometimes it means taking risks, stepping away from comfort, or going against the crowd, but it will always be the most rewarding path. His guidance leads to open doors you could never open on your own, relationships that enrich your soul, and opportunities that align with your true calling. When you let His voice lead, you will not only find peace for today, but also fulfillment for a lifetime.